So last year, I spent a little bit of time in Belton, Texas working with some clients that were relocating. They wanted to move to the Austin area, get a little bit more bang for their buck when it comes to a home purchase, and still be close enough to Austin to where if they wanted to go into Austin for the amenities and things to do, it's close enough. Alright, so a couple of you have reached out over the last several weeks asking about Belton, Texas. Well, in this video, we're going to talk about exactly that. Let's roll. What's up, y'all? My name's Jay with the Brandis Properties Group. I'm a licensed agent here in the state of Texas, and I love making these videos for you guys. But what I love more is when you reach out to me, give me a call, text, email, nice days, weekends, it doesn't matter. I love to help you with all your real estate needs. Please subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up for me, and tap that little notification bell so you'll be notified when we release the next video. With that being said, let's get this thing going. All right, y'all. So Belton, Texas. Belton is going to be located about an hour north of Austin. It's really not part of the Austin metro area, more part of the Temple, Killeen, Harker Heights, and Belton. When you come into Belton, one of the things you're going to notice is that there's quite a mix of property types here. There's some properties that are very spread out, like maybe an acre, 2 acre type lots. There's some new communities going in with your more cookie cutter type homes, and you really get a sense of, you know, this is a clean, well kept town in Central Texas. So today, I'm out here at the gin at Nolan Creek. The reason I came out to this place for you guys is, and I'm going to show you here in a second, is that this is where the creek is, and it's kind of the center of town. And the creek here, very clean, very popular, especially on those hot summer days. You'll see families coming down, kids coming down, hanging out. And just above the creek, there's a nice little downtown area with quite a few selection of restaurants and places to eat. And I can tell you that being out here right now, the barbecue smell, I'm picking it up. Oh my gosh, guys. It is making me hungry. So Belton is pretty well known for having a lot of parks, a lot of open area, a lot of outdoor. If you're into the outdoors, Belton's a great place to consider. Now, if you're going to be working in Austin, Belton might be a little bit far for a commute unless you're the type that's okay with that good solid hour drive. I mean, it's not a horrible drive, but it's still, distance-wise, it's still a ways out from Austin. You could move to Belton if you wanted to kind of go into Austin for some things. It's close enough. But at the same time, if the center of your life revolves between Belton and Austin, Belton may not be the spot for you. There are places closer to Austin that do give you the same type of feel, and it will eliminate part of that drive time for you. So according to niche.com, Belton has very high ratings for public schools. If you're moving here with a family and you want to check out some of those school ratings, go to niche.com, take a look around, read some of the reviews. You'll notice that the reviews on Belton itself are kind of mixed. You got some people who are, it's just not the place for them, and then there's some people who absolutely love it. One of the things that you'll see in some of the reviews is that Belton will get you, like, you'll have a lot of community, the sense of community here is very high, and you'll have a lot of things like parades and family days at the park and just all these different events that some of the cities and a lot of cities in this area have these types of things, but Belton is definitely one of those places that you're going to find it. So another benefit to Belton, you're going to be really close to Stillhouse Lake. Now, if you compare that to, say, like Lake Travis, which is down in the Austin area, Stillhouse will get crowded, but not as crowded because you're further away from the city. So there's a lot of lakes down in the Austin area that fill up and then get crowded and lots of boats everywhere, where you can still get that here, but not as bad. It's kind of like you're going further out. There's going to be less people to contend with when it comes to those types of things. Now, keep in mind, Belton does have some older areas. So they've got like an older, like the original city that Belton was, and it's got some older homes, probably built in the 20s. And they've also got brand new communities. So if you're looking for that brand new home, you can find that here too. And as of right now, homes are still decently priced. Now, when you're out here looking for a home, one of the things you need to consider and keep in mind is it's really close to Killeen, which is really close to Fort Hood, which is a big Army base. So if you're living close to the Army base, I will warn you ahead of time that you will hear helicopters, explosions, training, like all kinds of stuff going on at that base. That base is pretty big, and they do a lot of training at that base. So that's something to consider. You don't want to go that one day to look at a house and you're close to kind of towards Killeen or Fort Hood, and oh man, this is beautiful, this is great. You move in, and a month later they're having their big training day, and all of a sudden you hear things going boom. You got to know that ahead of time. So when you're coming out, give us a call, guys. We'll make sure that you are aware that, hey, you're real close to Fort Hood. This could be something you're dealing with. I know some people are okay with that, and some people, it'll drive them absolutely through the roof. All right, so as far as nightlife isn't the highest in terms of like 6th Street in Austin. You're not going to come out and just have like a big, huge street filled with bars and music venues and that kind of thing. But there are some things. In the little downtown area, you can find some restaurants that have a bar in it, or you can find some live music on the weekends. And some of the places that you may come out and hang out at, the food's actually pretty darn good. You got Miller's Barbecue nearby. Miller's Barbecue's great. And I'm not going to sit here and review all the restaurants, but just so you guys know, if nightlife is important to you, there are things to do in Belton. So last year, I told you guys in the beginning of the video that I worked with a couple clients that bought some homes in Belton. Let me tell you a little bit about what led them to Belton, and maybe this fits for you and maybe it doesn't. But they wanted to move to the Austin area, and these are two separate clients, and they happen to know each other, so there you go. But they were looking for, they were kind of interested in the Georgetown area. They liked the feel of Georgetown, but at the time, the pricing for houses, they were just getting outbid over and over and over. And for those of you that know, last summer was absolutely crazy as far as the real estate market goes. It has settled a little bit, but it was still one of those times where it's like, okay, people are trying to get here and there's a lot of people moving here and not a lot of inventory. We'll save that for another story. So my clients were coming out and they liked Georgetown. I showed them around Georgetown. They kind of found a couple houses they liked. And after a couple times of, and I say a couple times, I'd say after about a dozen times of maybe not getting into that home, they just decided, hey, you know what? What other areas are kind of similar to Georgetown? And now Belton is not the same as Georgetown, but there are parts of it, and some of it has a very similar feel. So you can come out to Belton, and Belton is also located in Bell County, for those of you guys that are familiar with the counties. And Bell County tends to have a lower property tax rate. So that was another perk for them when they were trying to decide on where to live. So I brought them out to Belton. We came out to eat at a restaurant. We checked out some of the areas, and they just fell in love with it. It was everything they wanted. They didn't have to be close to Austin. They didn't need to go to Austin for anything. They're actually in the process of retiring, and they just wanted to have the place that they could be close by for like access to the airport and things like that. But they didn't have to live in it. So we came out to Belton. They found a house, and in that process, they kind of just came to their own conclusion, like, hey, this is just like Georgetown, just a little bit further out, lower property tax. They bought a bigger house for the same price range that they were shopping in, so they were able to get more bang for their buck, so to speak. And after they found their house, their friends came and found a house close by, and the same thought process there. They were kind of looking at the Georgetown area as well, because Georgetown is kind of a popular area for folks relocating, because people have heard of it. So Georgetown led them to Belton. Belton is where they call home now. And another thing to point out about Belton, Mary Hardin Baylor, the college, is also located in Belton. So if you got kids going to college and you're trying to relocate and live nearby and they can go to school, gives you that option. All right, so if you guys are moving here from out of the area, maybe, who knows where you're coming from? Maybe you're coming from a California or a New York or a big dense city like an LA or something like that. You're going to notice and you're going to feel it right away how much space is out here, how much fresh air feeling you get. When you come out to the creek, you can come out here any day of the week and you will find people walking around down by the creek. If it's the summer, you're going to find them in the creek. In the wintertime, the water gets a little bit colder. It may not be necessarily the best of ideas. Maybe that's your thing. I don't know. But it's definitely something to consider, that you'll have the ability to come out, enjoy a walk your dogs. There's walking trails. And as far as outdoor activities, this really is a great place to be, because you've just got ample space and ample opportunities to enjoy it. So what do y'all think? Is Belton for you? Does this sound like the kind of place you'd want to live? I can tell you that if I didn't have ties to the Austin area, this would definitely be a place that I would consider moving to. And who knows, maybe someday I'll make my way out here. Like I said, close enough to Austin, but far enough from Austin. You get the best of both worlds there. Well, I hope you found that video useful. If you're looking into Belton or any other area in the Austin, Texas, please give me a call, text, email, nights, days, weekends, it doesn't matter. We get calls all the time and we love to hear from you. Please subscribe to the channel, smash that thumbs up, hit that little notification bell so you'll be notified when we release the next video. Remember, we got your back when you're moving to Austin, Texas, and until the next time, catch you later.